Good morning. I hope you're doing well. It's Rex Sikes. I'm live for a little while here on Facebook, and today I really want to get serious with you. It's the start of a new month. In fact, it's April Fool's, and I want to talk a serious topic with you, even though it's a day of jokes and pranks. Here's the thing. I have for 40 years been helping people get specific, measurable results in their personal life and in their careers. And I know, here's the thing, I offer programs and training. I'm a coach, and I have been for these 40 years in the area of developing your personal life so that you can live the way you want, and your career. Hi, Amy. Hi, Jeff. So my goal is to get results. Now, one of the things you don't see from me ever is me standing in front of a boat or a car or a fancy home, because what I have isn't relevant. It's not important. It's what you want that's important. It's the results you want to get that are important to me. I have things I can give away, but I don't want to give things away that you don't want. I want to be able to give things to you that you specifically need and or require and or desire in order to move forward and transform your life. And so I'm willing to coach you right now during these coronavirus days, absolutely free, so that you can get the kind of results you want in your life. Hi, Billy. So that you can get the kind of results you want in your life and in your career. Because one of these days we're going to leave isolation, and the economy may be changed, and the landscape of our culture may be changed. And people have gone through troubling times and may not be making an income, and entrepreneurial projects may have been put on hold, and employees are fired or let go. Bills may have mounted. I want to help you so that when we emerge, you're prepared to emerge confidently, positively, powerfully, putting your best foot forward, having your best mindset, knowing that you can overcome any challenge that is presented to you, offered to you, thrown your way. When the apple cart gets tipped, it doesn't bother you. You don't miss a step. Hi, Michael. Because you are the kind of person, you've transformed yourself during this isolation time into the kind of people, the kind of person that you are meant to be, deserve to be, and truly can be. Hi, Matthew. So during this time, I'm offering right now my coaching and my program, how to change your thoughts and transform your life, for you absolutely free, no charge. The offer is for a limited time. It's not going to be here forever. I'm doing it now. Once you have the gift, it's yours forever. And there's no charge, there's no strings, there's nothing. This is my way of helping you. I've been helping people for decades to, as I said, get measurable results. One of my clients paid me in 1995, I think it was, something like $20,000 to write them a letter, a marketing letter. Another client paid about the same amount of money for me to script a project so that they could produce a movie for their company. And so they asked me to write the script. I tell you this because people have paid some big bucks for small things, for a letter, for a tiny little promotional script. They pay for my services and my training and my coaching. And you can go online and you can see I've got some fairly high-priced coaching classes and trainings for people. Excuse me. And they're moderately priced essentially for people. But what I'm saying is because what people pay me to coach one-on-one is significant. It's a lot of money, and I'm not going into that. That's not my point. My point is that I have a background in this. I get results. I help people get results. I can help you get your results. But what I don't want to do is give you something you don't want. I want to help you get the results that you want to get. That's what's important. It's what's important to you, not what's important to me. I talk about abundance when I get on these videos, I put it in my marketing, abundance, and people go, abundance, is this airy, fairy, woo-woo stuff, law of attraction stuff? No, what abundance is having a mindset that says, I am wealthy from inside out. I can create wealth, I can create love, I can create happiness, I can create health. I am abundant. I have more going for me, not less going for me. I create and I thrive and I increase, not decrease, wither, or subtract. Do you get it? I want you to live abundantly and successfully abundantly. I don't teach real estate investing, and I don't teach banking, and I don't teach the math and that kind of stuff that a lot of people are interested in. I teach you how to have the mindset and the wherewithal so that if you want to learn real estate, if you want to learn investing or whatever, you know you can do it. The first and foremost thing is to get over the fear, get over the sticking points, to get over what prevents you from doing and living your dreams and having the life that you truly want to have, especially in these troubling times. Fear, that saying, false evidence appearing real, it's accurate in some ways, because those are the thoughts and the sayings and the beliefs that prevent us from taking action and doing what we want to do and making a difference and a change in our lives. And I want to coach you through that. I want to help you get over and become aware of and eliminate the limitations, to get over the difficulty, to develop the mindset of a champion. If the Wright brothers had stopped at any point, and people say, why do you talk about the same things over and over? I've heard this before. Because until you get it, there's no point in going on. If you don't get the first step on the ladder, I can't give you the third or the fourth or the 10th step on the ladder. So I'll repeat it until it makes an impact with people. If the Wright brothers had given up anywhere along the line, we may not have flight today. We might have. Somebody else might have come along and done it. But the point is, they had to have the certainty that no matter what they did, they were going to continue until they did it. And they didn't know for sure that they were going to succeed. But that didn't stop them from trying. It didn't prevent them from attempting. I mean, these guys they ran a bicycle shop, for crying out loud. And they created air travel for us. I mean, think about that. Because they had a vision, they felt they had a purpose, they had a mission in life, and they didn't let anything stop them. And their own father thought they were an idiot and they were stupid to attempt it. And you may be encountering that from your own self, where you go, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I don't know how, I can't, I've never have. If I were born different or had a different education or had more money or had better, whatever, excuse me, whatever your reasoning is false. And it appears real. It's your inner self-dialogue you may have had going for most of your life, because science tells us we think 65,000 thoughts or more a day, and 80, 90, 95% of those, now maybe 99% of those, are the thoughts we thought the days preceding. So there's not a whole lot of new thought. We run tapes in our head. We don't really think. We're running tapes. Old tapes, conditioned tapes, old habitual tapes that run reliably whenever we encounter something new or different or unexpected, or we go, I'm going to do this, and then those old tapes come up and go, no, you're not, you can't do it, you've never done it, you're stupid, you're dumb. Or you hear your mom or dad or some significant other's voice in your head, or they tell it to you in person, and people, well, that's a silly idea. Why would you ever want to do that? If you don't dream, and you don't dream big, if you don't dream bigger than where you are right now, you'll never get anywhere. I want to help you with that. That's why I talk about attitude and why it's the number one predictor for success. But I want to help you to develop the attitude so that you can do whatever it is you want to do. You want to learn investing, you want to be a race car driver, you want to be a juggler, you want to be a better mom. I want to help you get what you want by getting you past the fear, past the blockages, past the lack of energy, past the faith, past the doubt, and help you remove, eliminate, eradicate those things and move forward positively, powerfully, feeling abundant. And abundance, as I said, can mean more love, more prosperity. It can mean more success. It can mean more creativity. It can be a better talent. It isn't limited because it's abundant. Understand? So I want to help you, and right now I am giving away my gift. It's a program where I coach you through powerful practices and principles to help you get unstuck, get moving forward, and start living the life of your dreams. And that is a big claim, but you can begin to instantly start seeing results when you start applying these practices and principles. You eat an elephant bite by bite, but that first bite might be an incredible one. And then you need to continue to eat, obviously, if you want to finish the elephant. But you can instantaneously begin to release old fears and doubts and confusion. And granted, you may not, but you could and you can. And you can also move forward and make gigantic leaps or just small dents. But whatever it is, you can start getting those immediately by taking action, by making decisions, by implementing and applying the material, and doing it methodically, scientifically, and consistently. It's not hard, and it's certainly not impossible. Anyone and everyone who's ever gone through some trying times and decided to learn to change their lives and have transformed themselves can attest to it. It is possible to be a different person in the coming days so that when you're out of isolation, you can meet the demands of that new world then, whether it's a wonderful world or it's not so wonderful. We don't know what it's going to be. So prepare now. That's my point. Prepare now. And if I sound like I'm shouting at you, I'm just very enthused. I just really want you to get this. I want you to understand it. You can learn to do anything you want, and I'll help you transform and become the kind of person for whom doing and having is far easier than you may have ever thought before. And we'll do it in a fun way, and I will coach you in a private support group during this time. And you don't pay a penny. And you know what? I'm going to be really, really honest. People who don't pay anything typically don't appreciate anything. They don't because there's no skin in the game. They don't bother. They get a course and it sits on a shelf. Somebody gave them a gift. They don't open it. It's like, give somebody a car and they treat it like crap and it gets dirty and scuffed. You know what? I don't care. I want to give as many people as I can. Hi, Sean. This gift. With the idea that you're going to use it, and if you don't use it immediately, you'll use it someday. It's your gift for free forever. The support group may not always be there, but the course, the program will be yours. I'll be there on video and in audio and in books and stuff. So you can go at your own pace and you can learn it. Excuse me, when I talk, I drink bullet coffee, so I coat my throat with butter and coffee, and then I try and talk. So I will coach you. I will help you get the results that you want to get. I've done this for 40 years. People have flown in from all around the world to train, to travel, to have me coach them. I've met with people in hotels who've paid big bucks to have me come and sit down with them for an hour, a couple of days. Hey, I am not Tony Robbins. I am Rumpled Man, right? I live my life the way I want. I don't want to wear a three-piece suit, and I don't want to be doing the kind of things that he does. He's great. He does what he does. But, and my reach isn't as big as his. It's obvious. I am who I am, and I can help you be who you are. The point is to be authentic and to live your true self and to find your true self and to find that inner strength and inner resourcefulness and inner attitude inside you that allows you to release that and come forth to find your true mission, your true meaning in life, your true ability to have an ecstatic life, because after all, we're only here once for as far as we know, and even if you reincarnate and you don't know it, what does it matter? This life, the one you're living right now, the one that's listening to me and watching me on video and then goes about their day, this is the life that counts and matters. And you know what? I said this before, with the coronavirus, the whole thing about social distancing and that, keep yourself safe and keep yourself healthy and help other people stay safe and healthy by not running around and potentially affecting them, because dead people stay dead. But you're alive. And I want to help you live fully. And I'm not trying to give you anything that you don't want. I'm trying to get you to understand that my coaching is to take whatever it is you want to do and learn how to do it easier, better, faster, with less difficulty and less trouble. It doesn't mean that there aren't going to be challenges. Challenges are feedback. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be an uphill drive, because then when you get to the top of the hill, you have a better view of all the valleys. So when you go through life and you experience things and there are troubles, there's lessons that you can learn, number one. And if you learn well, it will guide you. You know, you can look back on your life. Hi, Michael. You can look back on your life and connect the dots and say, everything I did brought me up to here. Some of that stuff may have been painful and hurt, and you would rather not have had it, but you do, and that's your history. But if you're here and you're alive and you're glad that you are, think about that for a second. You navigated your way out of all sorts of traffic and buses and issues and things that could have gone wrong, and tragedy and calamity and loss, financial, physical perhaps, the loss of loved ones. You've navigated all of that, and you're here today. You're truly resourceful, and you're truly better than a survivor. You're here. You've lived. You have succeeded all this time, and yet most people don't feel like a success. They don't recognize it. They don't appreciate the journey that they've been on. The entire journey is important. I want to help the second half, or from this moment on in your journey, become one that is one that you expect and want and desire it to be, to make it more joyous and more fulfilling and more productive. Make you, if you want to be more talented as an actor, as a painter, as a writer, as a singer, as a pianist, as a cook, as a Uber driver, as a banker, as an accountant. My clients, my people who have come to me for coaching and training and consulting, coaching, have been top CEOs. They've been government officials. They've been law enforcement attorneys. I've had judges. I've had psychiatrists, neurosurgeons, everybody from all walks of life, teachers, educators, security guards, taxi cab drivers, farmers, pig farmers, food providers, grocery stores, merchants, accountants, retail specialists, realists. I mean, they come from all walks of life, and they come because they want to get coached, they want to learn, they want to transform their lives, and they do. All you have to do is go to my website. I make it a point of putting up only, I don't choose. Like some people put testimonials up and there's no name, or it's PL from Idaho. What I do is I put up letters and testimonials that people have sent me with their name, if they give us permission to use it, with their location, their occupation. They're all good. When I put out my book, some people, and it's coming, it's not out yet, I say, I'd like to get a testimony if you read my book. They go, write one, and I'll sign it. I'm like, I don't do that. I don't do that. And that's kind of a standard practice. I won't do that. I sent the book to people I should have sent the entire book to, because I see parts of it now. But the point is I want what people actually say, and what they actually think, and what they feel in their heart. I don't want to blow smoke. That's not who I am. That's not what I am. That's not what it's about. I don't want to impress you. I don't need to. That's why I wear wrinkled clothes and sit here with a cap and long hair and a beard and look slovenly, because you know what? I like the way I live. But I'm good at what I do. And if you want help, I will help you. I will coach you right now, as I said, at absolutely no charge. Now, my other programs, I may do some discounts and things like that, or the prices may remain the same. But this is a free gift that you can take advantage of instantly, right now, today. You go there. You go to idea-seminars.com. The hyphen is a dash symbol. So it's IDEA dash hyphen symbol, seminars, SEMINARS.com. Or you go to another pointer to this very same place, NLP, like Now Let's Party, online, one word, NLPonline.com. And that'll take you to some of my training programs. So you can look at all the different programs. There's the Attitude Activator. It's marvelous. It's incredible. Powerful program. But you should stop. You should read some of the testimonials and some of the things, because all of them are accurate and legitimate. None of them are made up. None of them are farmed. None of them are things that I've written. They have come from the people. And some may have changed names, and some will say name withheld by request. But the one thing I want to do is always represent myself authentically. And if somebody doesn't say it, I don't say it. All right? So you can go and read the testimonies, you can read the information, but you scroll down through that, you'll see how to change your thoughts and transform your life. Dynamic secrets for making the law of attraction work for you. And that program has video, we say more than 3 hours, because it does. It's got way more than 3 hours. It's got more than 3 hours of video. It's got 4 sessions right now. It's got a book and an audio version of the book. It's got the manual. It has some bonus audio, relaxation guides to help you relax, to go down and to better create and to better release things. It has some bonus videos, three bonus videos, and then it's got the coaching. The coaching is normally a separate monthly fee, and that's absolutely included in this for now. You can get the coaching during this time absolutely free. You're never going to be charged for the coaching unless at some point we say, hey, guess what? The free coaching's over. If you'd like to stay, you're welcome to stay. You're getting a free program. Obviously, you can quit at any time. You can back out. But what I always tell people is if you start the marathon and you don't get across the finish line, you didn't finish the marathon. All you did was go for a little while and then quit and give up. The program may not be for you. You may go, you know what, I don't like you, Rex. You suck. I don't like the way you do things. That's fine. Give the program to somebody else. But the key is to get the results that you want to get in life, you need to actually do something. And for me to reach you, because you may never come to me, I'm giving it away. I'm just giving it away. Because that's what I can do during this time when I'm at home. I can give it away. I can give it to you. Take advantage of it. It is my gift. And use it. Use it. If I gave you a kitchen item that would make your life more convenient and more wonderful, like I give you a food processor or something, it would save you time and money and energy and effort, and you could create dishes really quickly and fast, and I give it to you, and you never take it out of the box, you never plug it in, you never use it to process food, I gave it. It's gone. It's not in my possession anymore. It's up to you. If you don't use it, you don't use it. I hope you use it. That was the point of the gift, is to give it to you so that your life can be better, so that your professional life can be better. And if you go, I want career success in real estate, hey, go to Tony Robbins. You know what I mean? In other words, I can help you be a better real estate person. I've done it for tons of people, but I'm not going to teach you real estate. Go to Dean Graziosi. He'll teach you real estate. I don't care. I get enough people coming to me. I have enough work to keep my life busy. I've been doing this for 40 years. I just want to give a gift away to people so that it can benefit you and benefit them. And if you send me a letter saying thanks, great. And if you don't, and I never hear from you, but you changed your life, great. One of the most powerful experiences I ever had, and I don't even remember the quotes anymore, meaning I don't remember what was said. But I was on a bus stop in Los Angeles many, many, many years ago. I was like a teenager. And I met this guy. He was like from the Ukraine, some of the Slavic countries or whatever. And he told me a story about his personal struggle and stuff. And I started sharing that with people in workshops because I taught acting and I taught hypnosis, I taught meditation, I taught neurolinguistic programming, the life sciences, the life arts. They teach a lot of different things. And I created mind design and everything. So, and synthesized different things. So I started sharing this in workshops. And one day, somebody comes in and tells me that they heard the story that I had told from somebody sitting in another country. They didn't know I had told it. I didn't say who the guy was, but they heard the very same story, almost word for word, as I tell it, with all the reference points so you could recognize it. That they were like in Paris, and they overheard these people talking. They were in a restaurant, and they heard the story. Somebody told them a story, and then they came to my workshop and heard the story. They go, well, I've heard that story. I was thrilled. I was told this little story that I told in workshops went all the way around the world. Other people were telling the story. They didn't say Rex Sikes told this story about this guy he met on a bus stop who told him the story. That's not relevant. What was relevant was, my goodness, this story went around the globe. That's why I always say you can light 1,000,000 candles off with just one candle, but your candle has to be lit. I'm a provocateur. I love stirring the pot. I want people to wake up to what's possible. I want them to look beyond what they think is there to try and find out if they can see more of what's actually there. I don't have a monopoly on truth, but I do have good skills at being aware and alert about certain topics and subjects and elements in personal change and what holds people back, and where they're stuck, and where they could benefit. My expertise is kind of not only knowing where to tap, the old story of the guy that comes in and the boiler's out of sorts, and he sits there and he taps, and then he sends them a really high bill, and they go, "Why'd you do that?" He goes, "Well, it cost me 99 cents to fix the boiler, but it cost me $10,000 to learn to where to tap." I know where to tap. And I like to provoke, and I provoke on social media. Most of the time, I just want to see what people come back with, because what they come back with shows me what they're paying attention to. It's not clickbait. I mean, I'm not trying to engage them in a fallacious argument to get the upper hand. I'm trying to find out where they're coming from, because they don't typically. I mean, sometimes people are very forthcoming. Sometimes they have all this stuff in front of them. And it's getting through that. It's like meditation releasing would clear that. All right, but I want to know. So I kind of poking the bear sometimes. But I don't really want to do it if I don't have permission. And yes, I have been guilty of poking the bear sometimes without permission. But I don't want to. So if we enter into a coaching situation and you say, "Rex, I want you to help me out with this stuff," I go, "Okay, I want to be gentle and I want to be loving. I want to be kind, because that's how my work is. But there may be things that you see or confront that you don't readily like, or you might not think that I'm doing things correctly, and that will be what you do." See, when people come to a coaching or a situation, they come with all sorts of things. Some people come into a program, for example, and they really want to learn. They're desirous. They want to learn. They want to transform their life. They're eager, available, open students, and that's marvelous. They are teach me, and I'll run with it. Whatever you give, I'm great, and they're wonderful. And then there's people who come in who kind of get in and then pull back, and get in and pull back, and get in and pull back, or they start to analyze. And this is a human condition, so it's not something that you judge people. It's not like, well, that person does this, and this person's good, and that person's not. We all do it. We all do it in different situations and in different areas of our life. I've done it, certainly. But they get in and they start analyzing it. And what I try and tell them is, look, you're about to jump into the pool. The whole point is to get into the water. If you stand on the side and just constantly go back and forth about why you can't swim or why you won't swim, or whether the water's not the right temperature, or what's the consistency of the water or the temperature, and you start analyzing the entire process, you will not get in the water. You will overanalyze everything and not actually benefit from swimming. And I want you to actually dive in. I want you to immerse yourself. I want you to feel how good it feels to be totally present in that moment and have all that fun and all that joy, and self-talk and beliefs and limitations and fears and doubts and all that tend to prevent people. So sometimes you have to say, look, you're standing on the side and you're doing this. Wouldn't you want to get in the water? And you make the invitation. I'm inviting you. If you don't take the invitation, if I invite you to dinner and you don't show up, I might be a little bit upset because I prepared a meal and you didn't come. Now I have more food. But if I think about it, then I go, well, more for me. These are leftovers. I may be disappointed I didn't get to share in the company, but more for me. Any situation, depending on how you look at it, can be a blessing or a curse. And a lot of people take their blessings and make them curses. And they don't take their curses and turn them into blessings, but you absolutely can. And you need to know that. And so for the person who's analyzing there on the side of the pool, they need to analyze at a different time. Not while they're trying to get in the water. Go away and analyze and come back. Get it out of your system and then dive in, or walk in at the shallow end. But analyze something else, or jump into the water, and then when you get out, go, oh, how was that? And you can analyze it all you want. But analysis leads to paralysis, and so some people overthink everything, and therefore they don't get anything. And the thoughts they're thinking 100% of the time are mostly the thoughts they thought the other day. I'm going to tell you something, and I don't want you to do this. I do not want you to do this. I don't think it's healthy, but I did it. All right? I'm not sharing it for you to do it. I don't want you taking medicine that may not be tested, right, and then ending up harming yourself. So I'm going to tell you a practice that I did way back in the 80s, early 80, probably 1980 or before. But anyway, what we did was a bunch of us were in a commune, in a meditative ashram. And for the first 15 minutes of this meditative practice, we would run as hard and as fast as we possibly could, raising our knees up. We would run in place, bringing the knees as close to the chest as possible. I was a younger man, in better condition, better fit. I could do it, you know. And then after that 15 minutes, we would freeze. We would just stop. And that's the part that I'm not so sure is healthy. People talk about, you know, walking it off and having a cool down, and especially depending on your age and your health condition, you know, they suggest that people who want to start running when they're in their 30s and 40s should probably like walk a couple years first and take it very slow and incrementally. A lot of the people who've written running books die at 40 of a heart attack. It's just like coming off a certain medication. Some people say, yeah, you come off in the week, but some people say you should come off of it in a year. In other words, just keep micro-cutting the doses down. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare practitioner. I'm just saying be very wise, and I'm not sharing this for you to do it. I'm sharing it as an example. So we would run, and what would happen after 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes of running is our body was excruciatingly in pain. You know, our lungs were exploding and feeling horrible, and the thinking would go off, I'm going to die, I can't do this, I can't go any further. And we had taskmasters. We had a partner when we were doing this, and they would yell at that time, run harder, scream louder. And so it would go, ah! And we would run harder and scream, and you get another burst of adrenaline, another burst of energy, and you do that for a while, and then you'd start to go, I can't do this, and that whole dialogue and that whole conditioning and the whole, I'm going to die, I can't, my heart's going to explode, I'm going to pass out, I'm not going to be able, and they go, run harder, scream louder, and you do it, you kept doing it, and you kept doing it until you got through the 15 minutes. And what I learned the very first time that I did that is that I'm full of crap 99% of the time. I don't think I can do nearly anything most of the time. This is habitual conditioning. This is stuff. And I mean, and we did this, you know, for months at end. But it's conditioning. It's thoughts that give up first. Your body was capable. My body was capable. I survived. I'm alive with no apparent damage. Having said that, remember my caveat. Do not try this at home. I'm not. But it was a powerful example for how our thoughts stop us. And you know what? The thoughts aren't yours. They're not mine. They're the conditioned thoughts that we adopted in the growing up under, you know, hypnotic influence. Our brains were in the theta stage a lot of the time, from 0 to 7. And so we grew up like in hypnosis, adopting the beliefs and the values and the looks and the tones and the sounds and the experiences of other people around us as if they were our own. And so the voices in our head, our self-talk, may be our voice, or it may be a loved one's voice, or it may be a school teacher's voice that says nasty things to you. Sometimes it says nice things, but it's the nasty voices. You want to notice them, and you want to notice them when they're going on so that you can become alert. It's like if you drive with your oil empty in your car, you're going to throw a rod. You're going to break your car, so you have an alert on your dashboard so that you know that, hey, you know what, there's some area here that needs addressing. So your negative self-dialogue, whenever you start anything new or do something different, your brain wants to keep you the same. Your conditioning wants to keep you the same. It's like your thermostat in your house wants it to remain at a certain temperature you set it at. So if it gets cold, it kicks on the furnace. And if it gets warm, it shuts the furnace down. To keep it at that temperature, your brain tries to keep you consistent and consistently alive by being alert to danger and awareness. And that's why even though you're not encountering saber-toothed tigers, or most of us aren't doing battle in the streets, many people are, and that's unfortunate and sad, and many people live in horrific circumstances. But for many of us, we drive around from box to box to box, in a box, you know, and somebody looks at us wrong, or they give us the finger, or they say something we don't like, or we get a nasty email, or we encounter somebody on Facebook, and we feel threatened The very same things that used to happen in the jungle or out in the streets happen to us. Our adrenaline pumps, we get fearful, we get doubtful, we get mad, we get resentful, we get angry. Also, almost automatically, it's a reaction. And what it really is it's the electrochemical reaction. Something triggers it, and it comes in through the senses. The brain filters it. It takes it as a danger signal. It takes it as a life threat, and it squirts the right hormones and chemicals. It shuts down certain aspects of your behavior and starts other ones, so that you can fight or flee or freeze. And we're these remarkably wonderful creatures who have this ability. We don't have to monitor that. It happens instantly. It's out of our control. It's like you don't have to breathe. You don't, unfortunately, and when people have an illness where breathing is difficult, you become conscious of your breathing. Hi, Pete. You become conscious of your breathing. If a chair is uncomfortable, or one of my favorite sayings is, when the shoe fits, you don't notice it. It's comfortable. So when you're in your comfort zone, you don't notice it. When your comfort zone is threatened by the look of somebody else, or you lose your job, or you want to start a new business, or somebody proposes something, I want to do that, that's when all the stuff starts happening. The doubts, the fears, the frustrations, the anxiety, the sadness, the disappointment, the depression, all the examples from the past of how things didn't work, or how you're not a good person, or how you're a bad puppy, and when you tried something and it didn't work, that the brain goes, yeah, here, see, you stay just how you are. Don't budge. Don't budge. And your brain is doing that as your friend. It's like, don't go into the line of fire. Stop. Don't put yourself out there at great risk. Stop. Stay where you are. Stay in your comfort zone. It only does what it knows to do because it's done that while you were growing up. You were conditioned. In the same way, if you want a sculpted body, you exercised a certain amount, you ate right, you slept right, and you chiseled your body in a particular way through conditioning. Well, your brain was conditioned to present to you certain things, to take care of you in certain ways. Scan for danger is a natural survival instinct, but to keep you surviving, to keep you alive. And so it takes emotional threats as life threats. And, we're not running from bears and tigers anymore, for the most part. Many of us aren't. But it can feel that way. And so the 65,000 thoughts, the ones that would start to come up when I was doing this running, are, I can't do this, I'm going to die. And I didn't, and I haven't, right? But it all comes up, and I would have quit if somebody weren't there. If I didn't know that we were doing an exercise, maybe I would have quit. If I didn't know there was a time limit on it, because I would have naturally dropped. But I could do it for 15 minutes. But I was not convinced that I could do it for 2 minutes. I was not convinced I could do it for a minute. I had to go through it in order to know that I had gone through it and gotten past it. That's why when you go through challenges and you go through catastrophe and you can look back and go, you know what, I made it. I didn't think I would, but I made it, and I'm here today. And you know what? Actually, that catastrophic event in my life is maybe one of the best things that happened to me if you learned from it and you learned how to change your life and to be appreciative from the lessons that you learned. Other people go, that thing happened to me and I'm broken today and I'll never get over it and I can't move forward. That's those talking thoughts. That's that conditioned mind. And you got to love them. You got to appreciate them. There's, you can tough love and you can insult them, do all that kind of stuff. I'm not there. Love them. Help them become aware, if you can, gently or provocatively, but with respect, to thanks, Tiffany, But, in other words, it's the alert signal on the dashboard. It's saying, hey, you know what, your car is running a problem here and you need to pay attention to it so that you can change it. That's my function. That's my service. That's my coaching, is to, at times, point out where things might be a little bit difficult, or you could make it easier for you. If you're going in the wrong direction, you want somebody to go, hey, turn around. You want a road mark sign to pop up in your GPS that goes, turn around and go the other way. You don't want to keep heading in the wrong direction. If you do, you'll see things you never saw before, and you could learn a lesson from it, and you could enjoy that, is because it's a different part of the journey. You don't have to go, well, that sucks. I drove 600 miles out of my way. It's only important if you make it important. It's only a problem if you make it a problem. If you had a deadline and you missed a deadline and you can't do anything about it, well, then maybe it's an issue. But you know what? maybe it's not. Maybe as a result of missing that deadline, something better has come along, or you learned something important that you wouldn't have learned had you gotten where you were going to go. So anything and everything can be a blessing. It's just, how do you look at it? I want you to think abundantly. I want you to think prosperously. I want you to think healthy, happy, positive thoughts. As I keep telling people, positive thinking is not, there are no weeds, there are no weeds, there are no weeds. It's not fallacious, hallucinatory, fanciful thinking. It's I can weed my garden. I can take care of the weeds. I am capable and competent. I can do it. And you know what? People who are confident don't go, I can walk through that door. They just walk through the door. It becomes a calm assurance. They may have to pump themselves up to get to walk through the door. That's the exercise part of it. That's the practice part of it. But once they do it and they're confident, then they do it quite naturally. They do it confidently because that's who they are. They know what they can do, and they confidently do it. Somebody who knows nothing about finance and goes out and makes a ton of money becomes confident in a different way that somebody who's never done that can't or won't. They may be confident as a pianist or as a mom, but if they haven't done what the other person has done, they can share, similar experiences, but they don't have the same expertise. And there's nothing wrong with, people having different expertise. I'm just saying that somebody who's confident in banking has become confident by doing it. Somebody who's a good juggler gets confident in juggling because they've done it. You got to do it enough repeatedly in order to get good at it. Mastery doesn't come overnight. But what does come overnight is you can transform almost instantaneously by just one new idea, by just practicing one new thing, by just making a decision about how you're going to do something. Your entire life can change. There are people who, because of catastrophe, go, I'm not going to live like that anymore, and boom, their life is different. I've had it, no more. Or they go, you know what, I have to live a different way, and I'm going to go that way. There are people who are born in poverty who go, I am never going to be poor, and other people who go, I am going to be rich. But they make a decision, and then there's those people who tolerate it forever and then complain about it. Now, politically, I say this is the time we value the worker. The disadvantaged people who've been working paycheck to paycheck who can't get through this, and they don't have a cushion, they don't have a comfort zone, they don't have the money to live without the work and the jobs, because we're slaves to our job, and I don't mean that, use that term slightly, but we are as people, as a culture, conditioned to think you got to have a job, you got to go work 40 years, and you retire, you have a 401k or whatever, and a lot of that's disappearing for people. And at the rate of inflation and the money not catching up. So there's uber rich, and lots of money goes to them, and they get tax advantage. I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying they get tax advantages. They can borrow money at zero interest. If you're a celebrity, and if you're a celebrity watching, you get lots of free stuff from people because they want you to have it. They want it to be a gift. They want you to wear their designer brands and clothes and products and carry their purses. So you get that. You get cars. You get gifts. You get wine and dine that the average person never gets. And then when something like this happens, the average person is out of work. They have rent and mortgages and credit card bills. They have debt that they have, and then debt, college loans and the whole stuff. While the uber rich are insulated, and the uber corporations who are complaining that they hire all these people. Well, if you hire them, then give them a living wage. Make them so that they prosper. Don't look for cheap labor to maximize your profits to give to your shareholders as your fiduciary responsibility. Rise the entire boat by uplifting everyone in it. I mean, that's me politically, but I don't think it's politics. I'm just saying, I think that's fair. Somebody's going to work for you, and they work for you for money, or they work for you for benefits, or whatever. Treat them really well. The person who's getting rich off of the labor, they wouldn't be rich. Sometimes you can do it now with computers and everything, and you don't need a whole lot of other people. But one day it was built on the backs and the sweat of the laborer who worked long hours. I'm not saying CEOs don't work hard. I'm not saying they don't come in before everybody else and leave afterwards, and they don't have all the worries about whether they do. Both are needed. You need the person who has the vision and the people to help carry it out. Ford knew this, and he created assembly lines. But he said, I want to create cars that my workers can afford. Andrew Carnegie, if you go back to Napoleon Hill, said, if you work with me, I want to make you millionaires. I mean, and many, many people profited from it. Were these people flawed? Of course they were in other ways. But my point being is that during this time when a lot of people are struggling, I want to give you a gift to help you. I want to give a gift to the worker. The Uber guy, if they don't want it, I don't care. I mean, when I Uber, I don't mean the Uber driver. I mean the Uber wealthy guy. If they don't want my gift, you don't want my gift. But the people who need it and can benefit from it most during the times that are troubling, right now, you have forced confinement. And right now, you have the time where you wouldn't maybe if you were working 40 or 60 or 70 hours a week. So now you can learn, and I'm willing to coach you while you're in this imposed isolation. I want you to have the program. I want you to have it absolutely free. I want you to spread it around like the story that went around the world. I want you to share it with other people so they can do it. I want as many people as possible during this time or the next month when things are getting really hard to be able to benefit from developing a winning attitude, a champion attitude, and start getting the results that you want so that you're prepared when the world's doors open up and you can go back outside and you return to work, or you create a new business, or your business has collapsed and you have to rebuild. There are people who a tornado comes through, and it's always devastating when it is. But there are those people who whine and cry and go, I don't know what we're going to do. It's over. We have no money. We have no savings. We've lost everything. And then there's the other person who says, you know what, we're going to rebuild. Or I didn't like that house anyway, so now I get a better one. Or we don't know how we're going to do it, or we don't know how we're going to afford it, but we'll get through. Any kind of response is possible, but for most people, it's based on your conditioning. Until you learn how to change your conditioning, until you learn how to override it, and make it different. Well, I want to coach you. That's what the support group is all about. There's coaching in the support group. You and I can interact in real time. We'll have webinars. I'll be in the support group. I'm going to answer questions and Q&As. The program has, a methodology and its practices and principles. It's got a workbook you can go through that you can work out and fill. And it's structured so that you discover things. When you learn, like if you read a novel, it's the story unfolds. There's a discovery process that goes along. It's not here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4. There's not an outline for it. I don't like to outline. I know some people like that, but I want you to discover things. And so it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. It's all there, but you have to look for it in some ways. And in other ways, it's just obvious and it's presented. But even when it's obvious and presented, people can miss it. You both be sitting in a thing looking in the same direction. You go see that, and the person goes, no. Their eyes were open, they're looking in the same way. And two people go to a movie and watch the same movie, and one walks out and goes, that sucked, and the other one goes, I thought it was brilliant. Anything is possible. So the program is structured, my coaching is structured so that you discover and maximize your resources and discover that you truly are resourceful, and that even though you may not have thought you could, or you have done what you consider a failure in the past, that you can take those examples and take that situation and reframe it and change it so that you become more of the person you want to be, that you learn, you extract life's lessons, you get over things that were disappointing or that held you back, you overcome limitations and difficulty, and you learn how to go through challenge with a powerful, positive attitude, and you start getting the results in your occupation, in your hobbies, in your personal life, with your finances, with your health, with your mental set, with your relationships that you want. And I'll show you how. I will coach you in how you can do that. That's the purpose of giving you the program, especially now when times for some are troubling. For me, my life doesn't change much. Yes, I'm missing meetings. I'm not traveling around the world or going places as much. There's some movies that are on hold and things like that. But other than that, I'm at home. I'm at home with my dogs. I get to talk to my daughter or son by phone, which I would love to be able to hug them. But apart from that, Viktor Frankl was in prison. There are people who've gone through, restricted circumstances, and it didn't seem to faze them. Or if it did, they still had an attitude of, I can get through this. Life is what you make it, and every moment is what you make it. And I want to help you make every minute marvelous moment to moment. I want you to discover that every moment that you're alive is magical, and that you can discover that magic, or you can miss the magic. It's just completely up to you. I want to help you notice it. I want to help point that out and go, hey, notice this. And when you notice it, or oh wait, hold on, there's an alert on your dashboard. Let's take care of that, okay? And then when you take care of that, your car you'll run smooth. Got it? So right now is when you can use the program to discover. The manual is laid out with kind of question format and fill in the blanks and things like that, so that it will take you through. But the videos and everything are and the book are things that you can benefit from by repeated viewing, repeated listening, repeated, and even going through the workbook and re-answering the questions a week or two later, because you change from view to view. You change from when you read to the next time you read. Especially if you implement everything, if you stay open and you're teachable, if you stay open and you're available. See, the worst thing that a presenter, a coach can hear is, I got that. I know what you're talking about. I got it. I've heard this before. What it does, it's like that bank vault going bam. It's the door slamming shut. They went from being open, like a parachute only works when it's open, to being completely closed. I got it. I'm done. There's nothing coming in after that. And in 40 years, I've watched people open and watch people close and watch people open. What I want to do in a training room, when I'm in a live room, I want to get everybody in the boat. We all want to put our oars in the water facing the same direction and row together as a team so that everybody gets to the other side or to their destination as a group in harmony, productively, as opposed to one makes it and the other one's, been thrown out of the boat and swimming behind them. Hi, Chad. Hi, Tim. All right. So the support group is an opportunity to bring everybody along together. And amen. And so I want to bring you along together. And if you like what I offer, if you like what I say, if my words have touched your heart and or your mind, and you want an opportunity to right now dive in and at no cost to you other than your time and your energy and what you're willing to commit to in terms of applying it for yourself, then you can transform your thoughts, you can transform your feelings, you can change your entire life. You can become the person you have always wanted to become if you're not. If you're stuck, you can get over being stuck. Some people, life is okay. It's not good, it's not great, it's just okay, and they're happy with that. And if you're happy with that, fine. If you want it better, you can make it better. Some people, life is fantastic, and they know it could still be improved. They got everything, they're cool, they've got the love of their life, they got tons of money, everything is fantastic, and they still know that it could be better, or that they could be better. A lot of people get all the things that they want and discover that the things that they wanted don't make them happy because they never changed. They got stuff, but they didn't transform. So this is why it's important to be, do, and have. You become it first, and then you do the things that you want to do so that you can, and then you can have what you want to have. You can be, do, and have anything you want in life, but you got to apply yourself, obviously. You have to transform. What I want to do is teach you how to transform into being the kind of person for whom things get easier, for whom life is much more enjoyable, for whom, if you want to be a banker, you can be a better banker. If you want to be a real estate person, you can be a better real estate person. If you want to be a mom, you can be a better mom, or a better pop, or a better student, or a better race car driver, or a better whatever. A better retail person, a better greeter at the mall. It doesn't matter. It's not about station in life. It's not that this is for them and not for others. This is for everybody who wants to improve what they do. And that's the reach that I have. That's the goal that I have, is to help you improve what you want to improve. Now, there'll be areas that are outside my expertise. If you ask me how to invest in something, I'm going to say, I don't know. You need to go to an investment advisor. That's my point. If I need to know how to close this real estate deal, I can't tell you how to close a real estate deal because I'm not a real estate agent. Excuse me. But what I can do is teach you how to relate to other people so that you don't have to close people, because closing is for losers. That's a technique, a strategy to close more people, to get them to say yes when maybe they wouldn't. If you value people and you have a true, authentic relationship with people and they like you and you like them and you have an offer that to them is a sound, true offer, they're closed. They bought. They'll buy from you. It's about rapport. It's about respect. It's about trust. It's about the connection that you have. Face it, if you go to a car dealership, unless you're just locked in and you must have this car and nothing else will satisfy you, then if you had two of everything being equal, but you got one total dick salesperson, man or woman, and one really nice salesperson, and one you don't get along with, and one you really get along with, and one you don't trust, and one you do trust, who are you going to buy from? You want the car. If you're giving people what they want, and you're not stiffing them, and you're honest, and you're transparent, and you're ethical, and you're moral, and you're a good, authentic person, and they can see that, and they feel that you have their interests in their heart, and you speak their language because you understand them, well, then the sale is much more easy. You don't need to learn 27 different closing techniques, or 10 or 5 or 4. I'm going to simplify your life. I'm going to say something that's controversial, because I've taught NLP for 40 years. And a lot of people go, oh, here's the next thing in neurolinguistic programming. Here's the 50th step that you could take. You don't want 50 steps. Trust me, you don't want 50 steps. You don't want 27 things. You don't want 13 principles. What you want is it to be easy and simple for the most part, that maximizes your time, energy, and the return on your investment. You don't want to spend 20 years learning 50 different techniques and then going, where do I apply them, and then spending all that time and then finding out you applied the wrong one. You want a couple of things that make the big difference. You want to know where to tap and get the bang for your buck and the return on your investment, but not have to spin your wheels for the rest of your life spending time finding another distinction that makes another distinction about another distinction. This is why I find it funny, because science continually rediscovers things that the ancient practitioners knew, that people 200 years ago knew. They just call it something different now, but they validate it in a wide variety of ways. We have learned that people are this way. And you go, yeah, well, who didn't know that? But now you have a study, and you know who that study's for. It's for the person who needs to study. You may not, but somebody else will. Somebody else values all these studies, and somebody else will value all those different, distinctions. And so they'll want to learn them, and they'll invest their time, money, and energy in doing it, like having 100 different chess games in your head and knowing how to play it. There are those who do that, and it's important to know when you're communicating with that person that that's what's important to them, and they value that. And if you belittle it and make fun of it, you're not going to connect with them. For the most part, I want to help them make it easy to learn their 100 different strategies or chess games. I want to make it easy for you to not have to overlearn all sorts of things, but to uncover what's truly necessary and what isn't. I want to simplify it. I want to make it easy. I want to make it fun. I want to make it delightful. I don't want you to have to jog in place raising your, so that it's painful. I don't want to put you through a boot camp, but some people want that. And if you want me to be a taskmaster, I will. I've gone to acting coaches in my life and go, rip me a new one, tear me apart, smash my ego. I want to lie on the ground as a puddle of piss and tears, because I want to break down all the things that are keeping me from being. That was just me. I don't recommend that for anybody, and a lot of people go through it. And now, today, in this day and age, not as many people are willing to tolerate that as they were in the 50s and 60s and 70s. But that was just me. And I was fortunate because I did that with numerous teachers, but I also had a wonderful teacher named Lillian who was like, you don't have to do all that stuff. Here's what you do. And you want an on and off switch so you can get in and out of it when the camera's on and when the camera's off. So you can spend a lot of time doing things that don't necessarily get you a lot of production value. They don't end up with the results that you want. I'm not interested in getting you my results. I'm interested in getting you the results that you want to get. I want to help you create the life that you want and help you live your best life ever. And so I'm offering you absolutely free, and I ask you to share it. I ask you to share this video. If it's touched you, share it with other people. Spread it around. Let them know about it. How to change your thoughts and transform your life. Dynamics laws of the law of attraction. And I call it the law of attraction because there's a law of attraction. I mean, it is a principle. There's a law of cause and effect. There's a law of a lot of different things. But the secret is primarily very, very misunderstood. I think it's a valuable piece, but a lot of people misunderstand it, misapply it. They've missed out on it. So I want to demythify this and help you intentionally and deliberately create what you want to create. We call that manifesting. It's not woo-woo. It's not sitting in a chair going, money, 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 come to me, money, 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 come to me. But I'll tell you what's important about that. If you go, I'm a conduit for cash, I'm a conduit for cash, money comes to me easily, money comes to me easily, and you prep your mind and you believe that that's true, you will discover that you open up it's kind of like the scales fall from your eye, and you begin to see other opportunity because you're conditioned for wealth and prosperity. You're conditioned. Money's my friend, as opposed to something that's hard to come by. How you do one thing is how you do anything. If you are filled with fear and doubt and worry or lack and debt and not having enough, or if you're focused on what you don't have and what you're missing out on, or what you have to exclude from your life because it's bothering you, then your life is going to be very different than if you're focused on, you know what, I have everything I want comes to me easily. I am positive, I'm powerful, I'm into increase, I want to include these things. Life is a wonderful adventure, and it's here for me right now. So how do I best take advantage of it so that I can include more of the wonderful things and make my moments magical? That's my dog Bailey, who I'm going to, in a moment, have to probably let outside. She likes to bark, but I'm sure she's going to want to go out too. But my point, if you understand it, is I want to help you simplify things and prepare now. Like when you prepare the soil for planting, you prepare the soil, you plant the seed, and then it germinates underground in darkness for a certain period of time. And then when harvest season comes, you start to see the plant grow, and in its right time, it bears fruit. And that fruit bears seeds that drop off the tree and then become new trees and new plants and new fruit. So you can multiply your effectiveness, you can multiply your reach, you can multiply your benefits, you can multiply your abundance and your prosperity, your health and your happiness, and the connectivity you have with other people. You can increase the depth of your relationships. You know, it's not about controlling other people. It's not about sitting here and going, oh, I hope that person responds well to me. But if you are the kind of person, see, because there's always kind of a caveat in that. I've said this the other day, we are broadcasting, receiving and broadcasting systems on the planet. If that person who you didn't get along with is now approached in a new way by you, and you've forgiven them, not because they need forgiveness, but because you need to forgive, you need to let go and release, and you come to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm a different person. I made some mistakes. I treated you unfairly. We had some skirmishes. I would like to be your friend. You don't have to be my friend. I just want you to know, no hard feelings. I think you're a person of value. And if you're authentic and respectful, if they know that you're not conning them or trying to get something from them, but you're genuine, then, hey, you know what? You might have just repaired a relationship that otherwise would not have been repaired. And maybe you won't. But at least you attempted something, and you learned something from it. So people are our resources, and while we can't be around a lot of people right now, we will be again someday, maybe in a different form. But people are our resources, and you want to learn how to connect with them and to be able to communicate with them, and to, like that rising tide lifts the whole boat, or my example of everybody rowing in the same direction. You want to get to the other side together in harmony so that everybody benefits, that everybody can take advantage of the bounty. So that the sun shines on good and bad people, you know, and so does the rain. It doesn't pick and choose. And so if you don't pick and choose and don't exclude people or make them feel stupid or diminished or resentful, then you win by having more people to connect with. And the more people you connect with and offer great value to and can be of service to, the more opportunity there may be for you. People do reciprocate. So it's about being wise and being smart, and the principles that I share in this program are from ancient principles to cutting-edge, now current scientific validated research. And so they're practical, they're applicable, they are things that you can do. Not all of them are easy. Some are very easy, and some take a little bit of working, like doing sit-ups. It may not be easy, but if you do it long enough, you get good at it. Some of it's like that. Some of it you can instantly see results, and some of it will take some time, like a seed that you plant. So right now is your opportunity to come with me and allow me to coach you, to assist you, to help you and or your loved ones and friends or colleagues who you share this with. It's not there forever. It's going to go away. And at some point, the gift will always be yours, but the offer will go, sometime we'll return to selling it. And as we add to it, the price might even increase. But right now, it's not. Right now, when people can benefit most from it being free, is why we've made it free, and why I've made it free, and why I'm offering it to you. I'm trying to give you a free gift. So if you want it, take it. And if you don't, don't. Okay? I guess that's the way to put it. If you use it, fantastic. I hope you change your life with it, because I know you can, and I know you will. I know you get powerful results. If it sits on a shelf, you don't do anything with it, well, at least I gave it to you. I reached out. I gave it so that you can transform your life. I ask you to help me give it to other people. I ask you to comment. I ask you to like. I ask you to share so that other people can benefit. I do this video, and, if 10 people watch it, that's 10 people. That's fantastic. That's great. But if you help me share it, then maybe 100 people. If 10 people help me share it to 10 people, that's 100. If you help me share it to 100 people, that may be 1,000. In other words, the reach is dependent on you. And if you get a free gift, well, maybe the thing you want to do is make it so somebody else can get it. I would really appreciate that. That would be your gift to me. But your real gift to me is to take the material that I've spent a lifetime developing and sharing and change your life with it. And really do something marvelous with it. Make your life so magical and so wonderful that you maybe can't even begin to imagine what it would be like right now. You haven't had the imagination mechanism running, and wow, if my life were incredibly wonderful, what would it be like? But begin to imagine that and make your life marvelous. Make every moment marvelous. And there's a lot of stuff to come along and tip the apple cart and learn how to write the apple cart and get along and make it a marvelous moment anyway. All right? I'm Rex Sikes. I'm going to go let out Bailey and Sasha. But please, after this video, please do share it. Please come back to the video. Watch it. There's a lot of stuff here. Get the training program and transform yourself, transform your thoughts, change your life, and create your best life ever. All right? Much love, peace, and blessings.